I find this program very fun and engaging, and the most important was communication and practical ideas.
This week for me was great week. It was very fun, and I have learned that games are very important in our lives, and I think that children needs to play games, and I want to teach them, and I want to teach myself much more about this so that I can teach them.
The wonderful thing about this education was that perhaps the theory was minimalized while actual practical work was what we focused on mostly.
I learned how it's important to have a good team. And when I go in my school, I will find a partner, and I explain to her what I learned here, and I'll continue to do something that I learned here.
The greatest thing I learned is about creating games, and my students and my colleagues will benefit because I plan to involve my colleagues in creating games.
I became aware how much I can teach through games.
What did I learn this week was how to avoid idling. I learned structure of the gamification process. I will create even more games for my colleagues and with my colleagues. I will transfer my experience and questions as wide as possible, and I would play a game with someone whom I would like to explain what I've done here.
I learned that everything can be transformed into a game, and that thinking outside the box can be useful because it makes everything fun, and students and my colleagues will benefit from that.
I learned and remembered some wonderful information and activities to make teaching fun, and it also got me a new energy, sort of wind in my back to create, to work and invent new stuff.
I will actually start my group team with my colleagues called Media Literacy in Preschool.
I want to share my experience here with colleagues and students, and I try to integrate that all into my curriculum.
I will use the amazing things that I have learned this time also, and much more games than usually I will prepare for my pupils, and this is a wonderful way to demonstrate it.
With my group of students called Young Linguists, I will start creating short games which we can implement in learning Croatian language grammar.
I'm looking forward to pass my knowledge here to my colleagues, but the most exciting thing for me is going to be on Monday when I'm going to meet my students and try with them this game my team produced here.
What will I do next to continue my leadership in media literacy? I will definitely implement this game-based learning, and some of the games we tried here on the workshops with my students, and try to have more game-based learning in the classroom through the topics of media literacy.
My goal is to share everything that I've learned and saw this week with my colleagues, so that they could have a better perception and insight on these topics, and that they can use it in their classrooms.
I have to play the games created here, and they will see the benefits.
My students and colleagues will have a big benefit or much benefit from what I learned, because I'm going to talk about it, show them, and I'm not going to say I'm going to do it on every class I teach, but I will definitely use these skills on once a week at least.